Welcome back to the Bandit Gang Beginner Series. So you finished the tutorial, you understand your options, but now you have to pick a faction. Are you confused about what to play? You want someone else to decide your major life choices, like a faction in Gwent, for you? Is choosing a faction just too much commitment for you? Well, fear not. Answer a few questions that we at Bandit Gang have prepared for you and see which faction suits you best. So which faction should you play? Based on your personality, star sign, whether or not you like pineapple on pizza,
Why would you ruin perfectly good pizza with pineapple?
and your favorite Muppet, we have an evidence-based formula that works 100% of the time. If you're still unsure after this video, you can always read more about each faction on our website or watch in-depth videos for each faction that are coming out in the next few weeks. Let's start with Skellige. We're going to ask a few crucial questions to determine whether you should play this faction. Ready?
Ready.
Do you like Vikings?
What has that to do with Gwent? Ah, I get it. Sea, ships, Vikings. What else have you got there?
Are you a masochist? Pretty unique to Skellige are abilities that deal damage to your own units. This ties in with the keyword Berserk. The ability is triggered once the power of a unit is equal to or lower than that specified amount. Do you like playing all your cards twice?
So I can play all my cards twice? Cool.
No, it's not cool at all.
Why did you show me this card then?
Let's move on. Do you like the idea of being able to revive the dead?
I'm too afraid to answer at this point.
In some Skellige decks, you will take advantage of discarding your cards so that they can come back later on. This means that units in your graveyard can still be played. There's also the card Freya's Blessing, which lets you revive one SK unit from your graveyard directly. There is also Sigdrifa's Right that summons gold cards.
Wait, what's the difference between play and summon?
Now that you mention it, it might be a good time to explain it. So when a card says it will play a card, you get to choose the placement of the card and all the abilities on that card trigger. However, if you choose to summon it, it will appear on the battlefield with its base power in the row of your choice, typically, without triggering its deploy ability. You can still, however, use the order ability if there is one. Last question. Do you like pushing opponents to the brink of death and benefiting from it? Damaging your opponent's units, but not killing them, is important when you play Skellige. Some of your cards benefit from Bloodthirst. If your card says Bloodthirst with a certain number after it, it means there has to be at least that many damaged units on the other side of the board for the ability to trigger. Damaged enemies are indicated by a red power number. Let's move on from Skellige and check out another faction, Nilfgaard. Pay attention, this may be the one for you.
Yeah, it was all blood and screaming with the Viking guys. What have you got next?
Don't worry, this faction is a lot more regal. First of all, do you like to ruin other people's fun?
Excuse me?
Let's say if someone builds their deck, it would be a shame if your opponent could lock all of the abilities. And don't even get me started on lockdown. Let's continue. Do you generally consider yourself pretty lucky?
I thought the tagline was Gwent, the game in which skill beats luck?
There are some Nilfgaard decks that rely on stealing or destroying your opponent's cards. This means you can mill your opponent, aka destroy cards before they even play them, steal their cards, or clog their deck, basically giving them cards they don't even really want to use. Do you enjoy spying and gossiping? Nilfgaard is the spy faction. Spies are units that are played on the opponent's side of the board. This means you give your opponents points, you take up space for their units, and you usually get a pretty sizable benefit out of it. Do you sometimes like to play pretend?
I'm seriously worried how these questions relate to Gwent.
Playing Nilfgaard, you often want to play cards that were not even originally part of your deck or faction. There's an assimilate keyword, and it is one of the main archetypes for Nilfgaard. A card with this keyword will boost by a specified amount whenever you play a card that is not from your starting deck. But before you make your decision, I have to ask, are you okay with never getting a GG ever again?
Did Cantarella just steal her opponent's best card? I think I need to rethink my life choices now. What else have you got?
Not sure about that one? Don't worry, I've got a few more factions to show you. Let's go with an easy one. Can you count to 10?
I hope so.
Then you are fully equipped to play monsters. Congratulations. The keyword Thrive is in most of their decks. It means that whenever a unit with a higher power than the card with Thrive is played, that card with Thrive boosts by the indicated number. Just make sure to play them in the right order. Does playing cards with big numbers make you feel powerful? Dominance is important for some monster cards. You gain dominance if you own the unit with the highest power. And this ties in with my next question. Do you like keeping things simple?
Why would I play anything else when I can just slam points, right?
Sure. No judgment. So, do you like to play solitaire?
Sometimes, but I would really like to play some Gwent now.
Playing monsters can sometimes feel like playing solitaire. You know, you just slam cards on the board, don't really interact with your opponent. But if you're still not convinced, I have one more question for you. Do you like to eat a lot?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the pinnacle of Gwent gameplay. Are you ready? And then we divide and we divide, 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 divide and we divide, then we divide and we divide, then we divide and we divide.
There are two more keywords you should know playing monsters: Consume and Deathwish. Consuming a unit means you destroy a unit and boost the consuming unit by its power. If the unit you consume has 10 power, for example, the unit that eats that unit gets boosted by 10. This often combines well with units that have Deathwish. Deathwish is an ability that triggers once that unit is destroyed. Deathwish can be triggered by your opponents too, but it doesn't happen if the unit is locked or if it's banished.
Okay, maybe I can handle a bit more variety after this.
All right, we are down to our final three. Let's take a look at Northern Realm. Have you ever wanted to challenge somebody to a duel?
Okay, so I can kill my enemies faster. Nice.
Do you like inspiring others? Your soldiers need to have high morale. Therefore, boosting them can sometimes be beneficial. If you see the keyword inspired, that means that the ability will only happen if the card is boosted. This will be identified by a green number. Formation can actually help you with that. Cards with the formation keyword will gain zeal when they are played on the melee row, and they will be boosted by 1 if played on the ranged row. Zeal means that the ability will, while still having to be triggered manually, you do not have to wait 1 turn to activate that order like a normal order ability.
Get it. If I play the card with formation in front row, I can immediately use the ability, or I can boost it by playing it back row. What else have you got for me?
Do you like one card and like to play it a lot? Sometimes you don't need a strong unit, you just need lots of them. But if you don't want to work for that, NR has a solution for you.
I see. If you like Northern Realm's card, you really like it.
Not much thinking required. The next question will fit you best. Do you like to set it and forget it? Some of the Northern Realms engines just work all on their own. They'll generate points for you in a long round, and you can just sit back and enjoy watching the points grow.
Why would I need so many units anyway?
Do you feel safer in a group? In order to use some abilities, you need a card to be surrounded by soldiers. The NR soldiers just feel safer when they're played next to their cohorts. That keyword is called crew. It is activated when there is a soldier played on each side of the unit.
Ah, I get it. But I think we still have 2 more factions to go now.
All right, we're down to our final 2 factions. This time around, we're going with Scoia'tael. Let's get started nice and simple. Do you want to bamboozle your opponent?
Wait, so my opponents can't see what card I played?
Yeah, that's the whole point. Scoia'tael has traps. They are cards that are played and hidden until it's too late and their ability is triggered. So if you want your Gwent to include a little bit of bluffing, this might be the way to go. But that's not all Scoia'tael has to offer. Let's jump to our next question. Are you short with a substantial beard?
Why are you always getting so specific with these questions?
No particular reason, just thought you might fit in with a dwarves deck. See, the Scoia'tael faction is not only about elves, dryads, and nature. Dwarves are a big part of it too. These guys really like one thing: beer. Sorry, armor. There's a special keyword that is barricade. This means that a certain ability triggers only if the unit has armor. I have a beard. I like beer. Maybe I'm a dwarf. All right, this one is an important one. Do you live harmoniously with nature? The Scoia'tael folks are all about nature and diversity, unless you're a human, of course. Harmony is another keyword you might come across. Each card has its own category: elves, humans, dwarves, etc. Right now, we played a dryad with the harmony keyword. Now, when we play another Scoia'tael unit with a different tag, the dryad would boost. Look, magic! You can kind of compare it to assimilate, with Nilfgaard that boost when you play a card that's not in your deck, or monsters when you're playing a unit that's bigger. Scoia'tael thrives on different card categories. Get it?
I guess? So it's really strong like assimilate too?
I'm the one asking the questions. Put those in the comment section below, okay? Were the Ents your favorite part of Lord of the Rings? Treants are another unique Scoia'tael category. Call on the power of the forest and crush your opponent. Or not, you know, you do you. But I wanted to mention one more thing. You might notice that Scoia'tael units really like to move it. I like to move it. Sorry, I got distracted there. So we'll get to a little bit more detail of this in further videos. Just don't be surprised if you see a cat witcher jumping around the board and crushing your dreams.
I will keep it in mind. What's the last question about Scoia'tael anyway?
How do you feel about naked green women?
I'm guessing you'll tell me.
We don't shame anyone here at Bandit Gang. You'll actually often see our male streamers shirtless. Was I not supposed to mention that? Anyway, I just wanted to bring up that some of the dryads and Scoia'tael units are not only good looking, but also have the symbiosis keyword. This means that anytime you play a nature card, a wandering treant will spawn and boost depending on how many symbiosis units you have. Last, but definitely not least, is Syndicate. There's really only one important question you need to ask. Do you like money? 9 coins at once, and at the end of each round, you take half of them, rounding down, to your next one. You gain coins through your cards by giving you profit or bounty, or even using your leader ability. Now, Syndicate units don't work for free. Some of them have a fee. Paying that specific amount of coins will allow you to activate that ability. The benefit of this is typically you can use this ability multiple times as long as you have the coins to do so.
So I just need to make sure I always have enough coins.
Well, this faction might be just for you then. Let's just confirm it. No matter how hard you try, is your math always wrong?
I thought the point was to manage my coin well.
You're right, but can you really expect Gwent players to do more advanced math than 2 + 2? With some Syndicate cards, you'll run into the keyword tribute. This time around, when you play a tribute card, you must immediately choose if you want to activate the tribute or not. Make sure you have enough coins before you go and actually play that card.
Oh, get it. I should plan ahead.
Don't get too comfortable though. I have a couple more questions. Do you have questionable morals?
For a second I thought you were taking this seriously.
Syndicate is all about gambling, drinking, gangs, and danger. Do you think you have what it takes to fit in with this group? Some of your cards will actually have a special keyword called insanity. This means you can trigger their fee even if you're broke. Kind of like the Joker in Batman. Can I reference that? Do we have to pay copyright or something? Anyway, this means that the units are just a little bit crazy and, you know, don't mind a little self-harm. They're going to activate their ability even without the coins. However, you're going to take damage based on that fee amount. Syndicate may even encourage you to make a career change. Have you ever considered running a brothel? Nilfgaard, I love the city, and you will too, especially if you decide to pay a visit to a place called Passiflora. Don't come empty-handed though. Hoard is another keyword you need to know about. In order for Hoard abilities to trigger, you need to have a certain amount of coins in your purse. The good part about this is you don't actually have to spend them, they just have to exist there. We're going to talk about this in a little bit more detail in further videos, so keep an eye out for that.
Brothel, insanity, coins, what else is here?
Now, Syndicate has a lot to offer, but I have one last question for you. Have you ever dreamed of being a bounty hunter? You might not see bounty played that often, but you should still know that witch hunters and other greedy individuals are a part of Syndicate. Syndicate units can sometimes give an opposing unit a bounty, and when that unit is destroyed, you gain coins based on that unit's base power. Easy money. So are you ready to get out there?
So, Vikings, all-eating monsters, green women, dwarves, soldiers, spies, and we end up with bounty hunters in Red Light District? I think I've seen it all today.
I'm glad I can introduce you to the Gwent factions. If you're still a little bit confused about what you want to play, just go back and count all the yes answers to those questions that we asked you. Now, remember, this is all very scientific and will always give you the exact perfect faction for you to play. Now, if you need a little bit more information, take a peek at the Bandit Gang website. It'll be linked in the description below. Check out our previous beginner guide video. We've already released the first one, and we're going to be releasing subsequent videos in the coming weeks. If you have any additional questions, we'll also link the Bandit Gang Discord. Despite the name, we're actually quite a friendly bunch, so come jump in the Discord, ask any questions, regardless of if you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced player. We can help you out. We even offer coaching if that is something that interests you. So thank you so much for hanging out and discussing all the different factions in Gwent, and I can't wait to see you in the next beginner guide video.
And we're doing another giveaway for a subscription to the Bandit Gang YouTube channel, and the winner is... Oh, exciting! Woo! The winner is... It's you! Woohoo! You just activate that subscription down below. Congrats!